All right, so the question is number 83, and it says simplify this expression, square root of -4, but elevated to the second power. We're gonna simplify this expression. What's going on with the camera here? It's not focusing the camera. There, all right. So how do we simplify this? Absolutely simple. We wanna try to solve the -4 first, right? The -4 to the second power, and then do the square root. Whoever has the mic on, can you please close it? Thank you. Yeah, unless you have a question, of course. All right, let's begin. So this thing will be -4. I'm sorry, the square root of -4 to the second power. -4 to the second power means -4 by -4, right? Remember, the second power means you're gonna multiply the base by itself 2 times. This is a 4. Right. So the solution will be -4 by -4. 4 by 4 will be 16, and negative and negative will be positive. So we are looking at the square root of 16. And we know that one, right? We know which one is the square root of 16. This thing will be 4, right? A number that multiplied by itself gives you 16. 4. 4 by 4 equals 16, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Maripaz. Did you see how I did it?
Yes.
Beautiful. But now take a look at this. Take a look at this. You could also try to work it by doing this process. You could also say, teacher, cancel the square root with the exponent. I mean, at the end of the day, they are the same, right? Exponent and square root. So if you do that, you will have what is inside, -4. And now you are wondering, teacher, how is it possible? If I do this, I have -4, but if I don't, if I follow the steps, I will have +4. How is it possible that I have 2 answers? Well, that is the magic of a square root. Because if you think about it, 4 is not the only number that multiplied by itself gives you 16. Look, 4 by 4 is 16. But -4 by -4 is also 16. Did you see that? -4 by -4, 4 in 4 is 16, and negative and the negative becomes positive. So the square root of 16 has 2 possible values, one positive and one negative. Ooh. In this case, we need to write the solution as positive or -4. This will be the real solution, because it has 2 solutions, positive or -4. Is that better, Maria Paz?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, does anybody have another question, guys? All right, let me read the chat. Sofia Gonzalez, in the 77, the 3 stay and we add the exponents. Let me see the 77. Yes, the 3 stays and you add the exponent. So let me just write it here. Question 77, right? I'm gonna solve it real quick, real fast, because I feel like you kind of have the idea. This is 3 to the -6 by 3 to the 4. All right, simplify that. Yes, we have a multiplication of 2 powers, right? The powers have the same base, so the 3 stays, just like you said. We keep the 3, right? And then we add the exponents, -6 plus 4. This will be 3 elevated to the -2. But remember, if we have a negative exponent, we don't like that. We don't like working with negative exponents. So we're going to change this negative exponent into a positive one. How? By moving it to the denominator. So it'll be 1 to the, over 3 to the +2. By putting it down in the denominator, the exponent becomes positive, right? Un momentico en español. Lo que quiero decir cuando lo digo, lo pasas abajo y luego de la nada aparece un 1, es que, si se dan cuenta, aquí abajito, esto es un exponente, esto es una fracción, perdón. 3 a la -2 es lo mismo que 3 a la -2 sobre 1. Esto es una fracción, así que en realidad el denominador es 1. Cuando digo que lo pones abajo es, lo vamos a cambiar, mira. En el numerador queda un 1, que no había nada, y en el denominador que había un 1, queda 1 por 3 a la negativo 2, o sea, 3 a la positivo 2. Eso es lo que me refiero cuando lo cambiamos. Okay, so Sophie, that was the exercise 77. Let me see more. Luna Campo, Mister, can you help me with the 77? Yes, I just did. Joshua, Mister, what do you do when the coefficient and the exponent are negative? In exercise 77, let me take a look at it. 70 what? 76. All right, exercise 76. Beautiful question. Let me erase this part and we'll do it together. All right, exercise 76 says -4 to the -2. -4 to the -2. All right. So how do you do with the coefficient and with the exponent? In this case, both are negative. How do we solve that? It is pretty easy. It is pretty easy. Don't get scared about the negatives. Just work with what you know, all right? We know that there is no parenthesis here. So the -2 only applies to the 4, right? And since the negative is exponent, what you want to do first is get rid of that negative exponent. Get rid of that. Change it into being a positive, just like this one. -2 was an exponent and it was negative, right? We change it into +2. That is exactly what you want to do here. So, since you're going to move this, the 4 is the only thing that goes down. 4 to the 2. And the negative stays up because the negative is not being the negative is not being affected by the exponent. We don't have these. If we would have this parenthesis here, then the negative will be applied, will be affected by the exponent as well. So the negative will go down as well. But that is not the case. We don't have the parentheses. That means only the number is being applied, is being affected, sorry, by the exponent. We apply the exponents only to the 4, to the number, to the base. That means the negative stays. And just like in this example, we're going to leave a 1, the one that is up. Solution, this one over here. -1 over 4 to the second power. Oh, no. We can solve 4 to the second power, right? We know how much that is. This is -1 over 4 to the second power will be 16. And this will be the final answer. Now, if you have access to a calculator or maybe you like dividing, you can do this division. You can do 1 divided by 16. You can do that and write the decimal. Yes.
So, always we can do it in the denominator. We do, and for example, the answer 1 over whatever we can do. Yes?
Yes, my friend. Yes, of course. If you feel more comfortable talking in Spanish, you can do it, all right? But yes, I think I understood. So yes, whenever you have a negative exponent, you can always put it in the denominator, and it'll be 1 over whatever that is.
So, for example, in one point, I have 1, or for example, in the 77.
77, all right.
1 over 3 with to the 2.
Uh-huh.
So I can put 1 over 9.
Beautiful. Yes. This will be the final solution. 1 over 9.
To be completely simplified.
To be completely simplified. Yes, sir.
Okay, mister.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, let's continue with the chat. Daniel Felipe, teacher, in the 74, is possible that the answer be negative? In the 74, let me see the question. I don't know the question. Yes, number 74. Let me erase this one real quick. Number 74 is -4 to the second power. -4 to the second power. This is the question 74, right? So can this be negative? Of course it can. Look at this. there is no parenthesis right there, right? So the positive 2, the exponent, you guys can see this. Let me write it down a little bit more. 74. Negative, what was the question? Negative 4 to the second power. Better, yes. Now you guys can see it. All right. The 2 is only applied to the 4 because there is no parenthesis. If we had this, if that is what we had, then we would have negative 4 times negative 4. We would have this configuration. Negative 4. The 2 applied to the negative 4, to the negative and the 4. But that is not what we have. We don't have a parenthesis. This is how important the parentheses are. You guys tend to forget that, but parentheses are extremely important. Since this is not what we have, we only have the 4 being affected by the 2. So you have a negative laying around and then 4 by 4. Again, 4 to the 2 means 4 by 4. And then the negative, which is just right there, is not being applied, is not being affected by the second power. In this case, this will be negative. We're going to just carry it. And 4 by 4 will be 16. This is the final solution, negative 16. So, Daniel Osorio, yes, my friend. In question 74, the answer has to be negative. Yes, sir. All right, let's continue with the chat. Daniel Osorio, thank you. No, my friend, you're welcome. All right, just keep on asking if you have any questions. All right. Does anybody else have another question, guys? No?
Mister.
Yes.
In the 85, I do it, but it says in parentheses 8x3.
Let me erase, and
Okay.
I'll write it. 80, what did you say?
Parentheses
But the question, 80 what?
85.
85. Cool. All right, read it to me, please.
Parentheses 8x3. Close
X to the
parentheses.
3. X to the 3, I'm assuming, right? X
Yes.
to the 3?
Close
parentheses
to 2.
And all of this to the 2. Beautiful.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful.
So I do it, and
You did it.
yes. So
Okay.
I do like 8 to the 2 x 3 times 2. So my answer is 64x6.
All right, let me just write what you said. All right, you said you did 8 to the 2 and then x to the 3 times 2, right? That's what you did?
Yes.
And then you said your answer was
64x6.
Matt, do you know what? If this was a quiz, you got a 7. This is perfect. Perfect procedure and perfect answer. Yes. By what you need to do when you do these exercises is apply the second power, the exponent, to everything inside the parentheses. So to the 8 and also to the letter, to the x to the 3. So 8 to the 2 will be 64 and 8 to the 3 to the 2 will be x to the 6. Yes, sir. Congratulations. Keep it up.
Thanks.
All right. Yes. Tell me. Absolutely tell me. In which one?
87.
87. All right. Let me erase this part and we'll do it. In question 87. What about the question 87? Can you read the question first, please?
Parentheses, x elevated to the second power,
Yes.
y elevated to the -1 power.
Negative first, all right?
Close parentheses,
Close the parenthesis.
and all that of the power of 2, at the power of 2.
So all of that elevated to the power of 2.
Uh,
Is this the answer? Is this the question? Sorry.
yes.
All right, beautiful. So what's the question, buddy?
Because the exponents of the numbers that it is at the right of the variables, it is a 1. We multiply also that to the 1.
Yes, sir. Yes. You forget, all right? That's the real key here. You forget about the number. You just remember that you need to multiply by whatever the number is, okay? So, by doing this,
Mister.
you're going to distribute the second in both cases, in both factors, in the x to the 2 and in the y to the negative 1.
Mister.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So talking about that point,
Uh-huh.
so I multiply in both. Yes.
Cool.
For example, so x 4 and y -2. Yes.
Sure, but take it a little bit slower. Take it process by process, all right? So
Yes.
x will be x to the 2 elevated to the 2, and then
And
y to the
y
negative 1,
-1 elevated to the 2.
elevated to the 2. And then we do what you just said. Multiply. We have power of a power, so we multiply the exponents. So x to the 4 and y to the negative 1 times 2, negative 2.
And
Yes.
finally, is I think x4 over y2 because it's negative. Or
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, the way you did it is perfect. The way you said it is not that perfect because it's not x4, it's x to the 4.
yes, yes, yes.
So, yes, this part is negative, right? This part has a negative exponent. So, we can put it down in the denominator. Remember, all of this is over 1. All of this is over 1, right? So, we can put this y to the second power, to the negative second power, into the denominator. It'll be x to the 4th over y to the second. And now we don't have negative exponents. Now that will be the answer. This is a 4.
Okay.
Sorry. My 4s, I don't know why my 4s look like 1s. There we go. X to the 4. Look at that.
Okay.
All right, guys. All right. Remember, if you have questions, you can just open your mic and ask it, or write it in the chat in case you don't have a mic, or I don't know, you're shy, right? Just write it in the chat if that's the question. All right. Maria Paz Penagos. No, let me go up a little bit more. Tomás Ramirez. The 78. The answer is 4. Let me see. 78. The answer in 78. The answer will be 4. Yes, sir. 4 to the negative 2 times 4 to the negative 3. At the exponents, it'll be 4 to the 1. So, yes, the answer is just 4. All right, let me continue reading the chat. Teacher, how do we do the 91? Well, I don't know. Let me do it for you. 91. All right, question 91. Let me take a look at the question. It'll be, oosh, it's a big one. Negative 2 to the 3. All right, negative 2 to the 3 by x to the 4 by yz to the 2. Yz to the 2. And all of that over 3 to the 2x, 3 to the 2x, y to the 3z. Beautiful. All right, let me see that if I write it correctly. X negative 2, 3, 4, yz 2, 3, 3 to the 2. Excellent. All right. All right, this is a good question. Thank you, Maria Paz. This is a good question, all right? Why do I say it's a good question? Because if this was a quiz, which you will eventually have in Alex, right? If this was a quiz, I would put something like this as a question. I would put something like this because in this exercise, you need to show me that you can handle a lot of the properties, right? There are a lot of steps that you need to do in this precise exercise. But it's not hard. It looks hard, but it's not. Look at this. It is not. Look at this. Look at this. All right, let's take it step by step. Let's work on the things we can work, and let's leave out the things that we cannot, all right? So, for example, we can work on this first. This yz to the second power, we can distribute the second power, the exponent, we can distribute it to the y and to the z. What I mean by that is leave everything the same. So negative 2 to the 3, x to the 4, and then if you distribute the 2 to the y and to the z, you have y to the second power z to the second power. All of that over 3 to the second power x, y to the 3, and z. Okay, but look at this. We can work on a couple of more things. We can do these two numbers. Negative 2 to the 3, that's a number that we can find. And 3 to the 2, that is 9. That is absolutely easy. So we can do this part as well. Let's do negative 2 to the 3. But how much is that? Well, negative 2 to the 3 is negative 2 by negative 2 by negative 2. That is negative 2 to the 3. Because over here, you have negative 2 3 times, right? So how much is that? All right, 2 by 2 by 2 is 8. But what about the sign? Well, the sign is negative by negative by negative. This is positive because there are two negatives. And then the positive with the last negative is going to become a negative. So the answer for this one will be negative 8. Negative 8, right? Let's leave the same, the rest the same. So x to the 4, y to the second, z to the 3. I'm sorry, to the 2. And down, 3 to the 2 will be 9, right? Over here we have x, y to the 3, and z. Beautiful. But look at this now. Every single step that we have done has given us something more to do. This is the case of this example, of this step, sorry. We can work on this couple. We have a division that have the same base. Remember, this x has an implied 1 right there. You cannot see the 1, but the x is elevated to the 1. Also, this second pair of y's, y to the 2 and y to the 3, this is a division of powers that have the same base. And also this one over here, z to the 2 and z to the 1. Remember, there is a 1 that you cannot see right there, a 1 that is implied, right? So the solution for this part will be, again, a fraction, right? We're going to leave the negative 8 and the 9 right there. We're not going to touch them because we're not working on those in this step. And what we are working on is these divisions. X to the 4 divided by x to the 1. Remember, you're going to leave the x and subtract the exponents. So 4 minus 1 is 3. Did you see? Again, y to the 2 over y to the 3. Leave the base, the y, and subtract the exponents. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. We have a negative now. Don't worry. We're gonna solve that later. Don't worry. And same with this part. Z to the 2 over z to the 1. We're going to leave the z and subtract. 2 minus 1 is 1. So I'm not even going to put an exponent right there. I'm not even going to put it. Because we know if there's no exponent, it's implied that there's a 1, right? Beautiful. So you would say, teacher, there's a negative. We need to do something about it, right? We cannot leave exponents that are negative. Beautiful. So the final step, the real final answer. Negative 8 on top over 9 down, right? We're not touching these ones. We're just focusing our attention on the negative 1 over here. So everything else stays the same. X to the 3 is going to be here. X to the 3. The z is going to be here. And I took out the y because I want to change it into the denominator, sorry. I want to change it into the denominator because by doing so, just like I did here, the negative is going to disappear. Y to the negative 2 is going to become y to the positive 2. So I want to do that also here. Y to the negative 1 is I put it down. If I put it down, it's going to be y to the positive 1. And since it is a positive 1, I'm not even going to put the exponent. This will be the final solution. Now, of course, again, if you have access to a calculator or you like doing divisions, you can do negative 8 divided by 9. This is a number. This has some decimals, but this division can be done. It is negative 0 point something. So you can do that if you want to. But let's say you're not working with a calculator. If you're not, you can just leave it like that. That is a great answer, a perfect answer, if I might say so myself. Not because I did it. No, not because it was me who did it. No, because it is perfect. All right, let's continue reading the chat. Whoosh, a lot of questions now. Maria Paz Penagaos, teacher, how do we do the 91? We just did it. Sarah, how do we how can we do the 80? Okay, let me do it for you. The 80. Let me read the question 80. It says 2 to the negative 1. Question 80. 2 to the negative 1. And all of that to the negative 3. This is absolutely simple. I'm going to do it real fast. This one. Leave the exponents. Leave it. Don't change it right now. Don't change them. Why? Because always attend first at the parentheses. So here we need... yes, if you attend first at the parentheses, you will be thinking this is 1/2. And you might be right. But I have another idea. What if you just do power of a power first? If you do power of a power, you have 2 to the negative 1 multiplied by negative 3. That is power of a power, right? Multiply the exponents. So if you have like this, you just go ahead and answer it. And this is negative and negative will be positive. So 2 to the positive 3. 2 to the positive 3 is exactly 8. And this will be the solution. Why? Why did we not solve the exponent first? Why did we not do the parentheses first? Why? Simple. Because we wanted to get rid of the exponents. And we knew from the beginning that if we multiply negative and negative, the exponent will be gone. So no reason to work with fractions. We can just be smart about this and do power of a power and get the exponent positive right away. If you were to do the 2 to the negative 1 as an exponent, to do the exponent positive, if you wanted to do that, then you would need to do a lot of other things, and maybe you would get confused. Maybe that's the reason why you're asking this question, this point. All right, so the tip here, do power of a power whenever you can. Maybe that's gonna cancel the exponent, and it's a lot better, a lot easier. All right, let's see more questions. Let me take a look at the chat. All right. 80. I don't understand. Sofia Gonzalez, I don't understand the number 86. 86. I think we can do it right here. 86. All right. I know a lot of you are asking, guys. I understand, but give me a couple of minutes, all right? I need to answer everybody, guys. I need to answer everybody. So right now, I am in Sofia Gonzalez at point 86. Give me a couple of minutes, all right? And I'll get to you, all right? I'll get to you. Don't worry. I promise that I'll get to you. So 86, all right, question 86. The question 86 says -4 times x to the 2, and all of this elevated to the power of -1. -4 times x to the 2, yes. All right, this is a pretty simple exercise, just like any other, to be honest. These exercises are pretty simple. So how would you solve it? Absolutely easy. Just try to do the exponent to everything inside the parentheses. Distribute the exponent to everything inside the parentheses, right? So -4 will be to the -1, and the x to the 2 will be to the -1. If we do this, now we can solve these things, right? Let's try to solve first the power of a power. This will be -4 to the -1. I am not touching the -1 first. I am not doing anything with it. I'm leaving this number right there for a second because I want to do the x to the 2 to the -1 first. And this thing is power of a power. So you want to leave the exponent and then multiply the exponent by the other exponent. Do the multiplication of exponents. So 2 by -1 will be -2. And now look at this. We have two answers that both have negative exponents. So how do we do with that? Absolutely simple. Change it into the denominator. We're going to change the 4 down and the x down. By doing that, the exponents are going to become positive. So 4 to the 1 and x to the 2 positive without the negative. Look at that, without the negative. And now the question is, what do we put here on top of it in the denominator? What do we put over there? Well, we're going to put over there whatever we didn't change. That is this negative. this negative was not being affected by the exponent. So this negative is going to stay. We're going to have -1 on top of this. And just because I like to make things a little bit prettier, I can erase that 1 of the 4. 4 to the 1 is 4. So this will be the final answer. All right? Okay, let's continue. Let's see what other questions do we have. Yes, my friend. Yes, hi.
I have a question in the problem number 93.
93, sure. Give me just 1 minute. We're gonna do 93 in a minute, all right? But, Daniel Felipe Osorio, paso un momentico al español. Mis niños, sí, recuerden que los muchachos de noveno C tienen un libro que tiene una edición diferente. Luego, entonces, son unos ejercicios diferentes. Recuerden que lo que tienen que hacer es sumarle 2. Entonces, no vamos a hacer, eran del 73 al 91, creo. No, es del 75
94.
sí, más 2 hasta el 94, gracias. Entonces, no es los números que yo pongo, porque esos son para los muchachos en general, pero los muchachos de noveno C tienen otra edición. A esos ejercicios toca sumarle 2. No más ejercicios, no, sino al numeral del ejercicio. Entonces, si estás haciendo el 73, pues en realidad no es el 73 que yo estoy haciendo. El que yo estoy haciendo para ti debe aparecer como 75, ¿sí ves? Más 2. El final, por ejemplo, este ejercicio, el 80, seguro a ti no te parece como 80, seguro te parece como 82. El 86 te va a parecer como 88. Y así. Eso es para los chicos que están en octavo C. ¿Listo? En octavo, perdón, en noveno C. Los bajé un curso, perdónenme. Okay, let's continue. Exercise 93, you said? Buddy? I don't know who that was, but buddy? Okay, then no, let's continue with the chat. No, it's fine. Maybe he did it already. It's fine. It's okay. Don't pressure. It's okay. All right, let's continue. Daniel Felipe, somebody already explained it to you. Cool. Laura Valentina Anzola, how can we do the 92? All right, 92 coming up right away. Since this is right after the 91, I'm assuming 92 looks awful because it might be really long. But remember, these exercises are easy. All you need to do is follow the steps, follow the procedures, all right? All right, 92. Let me take a look at the question. All right, it says, for x to the -2, for x to the -2 times yz to the -1, yz to the -1, all of that over 2 to the 3x to the 4y, 2 to the 3x to the 4y. Okay, so this is the question 92. All right, this is the question 92. So how do we solve that? Absolutely, so just like we did 91, taking it step by step, little by little. Better like this, right? All right, what I mean by that is try to work on the exponent first over here, and then we'll see whatever the answer is, we will analyze that answer to see what is the next step, all right? Don't just try to come up with a plan to solve all of this in one step. No. Take it step by step, little by little. Solve one process, and then from the answer, we can think about the rest. So here will be 4x to the -2. Remember, everything that is not this, I am leaving the same. Over 2 to the 3, x to the 4, and y. Everything that wasn't this parenthesis just stood the same. And this one, we're gonna distribute the negative exponent. This will be y to the -1 and z to the -1. Did you see? Okay, from here, now we can think on the next step. And I'm seeing 2 to the 3 over here. That 2 to the 3 can be solved. This is 8. 2 to the 3, 2 to the power of 3, that is an 8. So we can do that right now. This will be 4 x to the -2, y to the -1, z to the -1, all of that over 8 x to the power of 4, and y. Did you see? I just leave everything the same, and only the step that I wanted to do was the only thing that changed. Now from here, look at this. We have, just like in the question 91, we have a couple of powers that can be done doing the exponent laws, right? The properties. So what I mean by that is this x has a -2 and this x has a -4, but they are dividing. So we can leave the base and subtract the exponents. The answer, 4/8, right? And we're gonna leave the base and subtract the exponents. -2 minus 4, it'll be -6. Same with this one. Leave the base and subtract the exponents. -1 minus 1 will be -2. This one, I didn't do anything to the c, so I'm just going to write it right there to the -1. Beautiful, isn't it? Because now we can do something more. Now we can do something more. What is it? Well, this exponent is negative, this exponent is negative, and this exponent is negative. We can just put them down, and they will become positive. So this will be 4/8, right? I'm not touching these two, so I'm leaving them just like they are. And then the rest are going to go down. X to the 6, y to the 2, z to the 1. Since this is z to the 1, I can just erase the 1 and things will be fine. Now, you might be thinking, teacher, this is the answer. We did it. Not really. Not really, because look at this. This is 4/8. These two can be simplified. This didn't happen in the previous exercise in 91 or in the other ones that we had over there. This is a new thing that is just coming up from exercise 92. We can simplify this. By simplifying, I mean we can divide this by 4, and we're going to take a 1 on top and a 2 down. 1 in the denominator, 2 in the denominator, because we are simplifying. So the final solution will be, I think, yes, we have enough space. So 1 over, this is the one that we took, that we had from the previous step. 4 divided by 4 is 1, so we leave the 1. And a divided by 4, we are simplifying, so we're going to have a 2, x to the 6, y to the 2, z. This will be the real final answer. 92 was a great question. Thank you, Laura Valentina Onsola. Thank you for asking me that. Thank you. All right, let's continue. 86. I did it already, Tomas. Catalina Castro, can you explain the 89? Sure, I can. Let me erase this. Let me erase this, and I'll do it for you. 89. We have 15 minutes, guys. 15 minutes. But I'm going to continue explaining it all the way until those 15 minutes are gone, all right? Because I want to help you, all right? 86. No, 86, we did it already. 89. All right, question 89. And question 89 says, x to the 2, y to the 3, x to the 2, y to the 3 over x, y to the 4, x, y to the 4. All right, this is a pretty simple exercise. This is absolutely simple. I'm going to do it real fast, real quick, because I feel like with this exercise, maybe you kind of have the idea to do 89. So I'm going to do it nonetheless, but I want to do it a little bit faster. So this is absolutely easy. We're going to do groups of divisions that we can do. X to the 2 and x, those can be divided. And a to the 3 and a to the 4 can be divided as well. And when we divide powers that have the same exponent, we leave the base and subtract the exponent. So 2 minus 1, look at this. This is not a 0, right? Whenever you don't have an exponent, it's not a 0, no, it's 1. So 2 minus 1 will be 1. I'm going to put it right there. And then y to the 3 minus 4, because you subtract the exponents, you leave the base, and 3 minus 4 will be -1, right? So what do we do now? Well, x to the 1 can be just x, but this y has a negative exponent. To change it into a positive, all we need to do is move it down. That's it. We're going to move it down. So the y is going to be to the 1 right there. Positive 1 because we put it in the denominator. By doing so, we can just erase the 1. And now we have our final answer, x over y. That's it. Exercise 89 was absolutely simple. Let's continue. Emma Mogollon. Mister, how do we do the 93? Do you want me to do it? I'm assuming you want me to do it. 93. I'm sure it could be something like this, but sure, I'll do it for you, no problem. All right, 93. La-da-da. La-da-da. La-da-da-da. 93. 93. Ooh, a power of a power. 3x to the negative 1. Exercise 93. All right, so 3x to the negative 1. 93. Over 4y to the negative 1, and all of these to the negative second. All right, so how do we solve this exercise? We solve it just like we did with the previous exercises. This negative 2 cannot be seen, sorry, negative 2, there. Now it can be seen, sorry guys. All right, so we want to do exactly the same. And what I mean by that is distribute the exponent to everything inside the parentheses. Everything inside the parentheses is going to have its own negative 2 exponent. So this will be the next step. 3 to the negative 2, I'm distributing the exponents. So 3 to the negative 2, x to the negative 1 to the negative 2. Look at that. It has its own negative 2 now. Over 4 to the negative 2 and y to the negative 1 to the negative 2. But look at this. Now we have a situation where we can do power of a power. We can do power of a power here and also here, power of a power. How do you do a power of a power? Well, you leave the base the same and multiply the exponents. And that is beautiful because now this negative and this negative, these negatives are going to go away because we're going to multiply them. Look at this. This is what I mean. 3 to the negative 2 and 4, I'm going to leave them just like they are. I'm not going to touch them. I'm going to do power of a power first. So 3 to the 2 and 4 to the negative 2. I am not doing anything to those. And x to the negative 1, elevated to the negative 2, this will be x to the positive 2. Because we have power of a power, we multiply the exponents. So negative 1 by negative 2 is positive 2. Look at that. Positive 2. See how beautiful this is? We don't have to worry about these negatives now. Sure, we have to worry about this and this, but I mean, we cannot have everything done, right? We have to do something. But these ones, we don't have to worry about. All right, let's continue. Y to the negative 1 to the negative 2, the same. Leave the base and multiply the exponents. Negative 1 by negative 2 is positive 2. Beautiful. Positive 2. No longer we have a negative right there. Huh? Okay, so now we need to solve these two. This is negative and this is negative. We can do this in just one step. Look at this. X to the 2 and y to the 2. I am not touching these two. I am leaving them how they are, but I'm changing the 3 to the negative 2 and the 4 to the negative 2. These two, I am changing them. What I mean by that is this little thing is going to go down, and then this one is going to go up. I'm going to change them because the 3 is going to go down to make it to make the exponent positive. I'm going to change the 3 down. Change it down, and the exponent is now positive. Did you see? It was up, it was in the numerator, and I put it in the denominator. I move it down, right? But the 4 is down, and I want to make it so that the exponent is no longer a negative. So I'm going to move it up. So I'm going to put it over here, 4 to the second power. You see? We have one more step to do, and that is to solve this. 4 to the 2 and 3 to the 2. 4 to the 2 is 16. 3 to the 2 is 9, and just go ahead and copy the rest of the exercise. So this one over here, this one will be our final solution. All right? Okay, let's continue. Let's continue with the chat. All right. Emma Mogollon, Mister, how do we do the 93? We just did it. All right. But you have to multiply the number 2 in this exercise. Tomas, I don't know what exercise you're talking about, buddy. Maybe in 86? I don't know, dude. If I did a mistake, maybe I can make mistakes, right? So if I did a mistake, you just let me know, right? Or if you have another question, go ahead and write it in the chat, and I'll read it. All right?
No, I mean in the question 80.
80.
I think you have to multiply the number 2.
Oh, okay. Did I forget something? Is that what happened?
It's my question. I don't know if we have to multiply.
And the question, that's the question. All right, let me write the question for you. 2 to the negative 1 times negative 3. Sorry, to the negative 3. All right. 80. 2 to the negative 1 to the negative 3. Yes, my friend. All right. Oh, multiply the 2 by negative 3. No. This isn't 2 times negative 1. No. This is power of a power. This, what you have here, is a power elevated to an exponent. So this will be 2 to the negative 1 times negative 3. This is where the multiplication happens, okay? You don't multiply the 2 times the negative 3 as well. You don't do this. You don't do 2 times negative 3. And then all of these to the negative 1 and the negative 3. No, you don't do that. No. This is a mistake, all right? You don't do that, okay? The negative 3 is only going to be multiplied to the exponent because the negative 3 is also an exponent itself, all right? So you only multiply the exponents, not with the base. This answer will be 2 to the positive 3, which is 8. Okay. That better, Tomas? That good? All right, let's continue. Juan Sebastián Parrado. The 89, you need to subtract the variables because it is a division. Yes, sir. You have it, Parrado. Pretty good. Okay. How can we do the 90? I think we did it, right? Did we do the 90 or not? I think we did the 90 already. All right, let me see. 90. Oh, no, we didn't. We haven't done the 90. I'll do it right away. 90. Okay, the question in 90 says x to the negative 2 times y, x to the negative 2 times y over x times y to the second power, like this. All right, so how do we do this? Exactly like we did the other exercises. These couple of x's can be simplified, right? And this couple of y's can be simplified. Right? What I mean by that is do the division. These two have the same base. Remember, there is a 1 right there that you can see. It is an implied 1. So you can do the division. Leave the x and subtract the exponents. Negative 2 minus 1 will be negative 3. And then this part over here will be y to the 1 minus 2. 1, there's a 1 here that you can see, right? An implied 1. 1 minus 2 will be negative 1. But look at that, we have two negatives. So what we can do is we can move them to the denominator. On top we will have 1 because there's nothing else will stay there, right? And in the denominator we'll have x to the 3. Look at that. We are changing it to the denominator, so the negative becomes a positive, and y to the 1. The negative becomes a positive now. Since this 1 is positive, I can just erase it, and this will be the solution for point 90. Okay. 4 minutes until the end of the class. Let's see if I can solve at least another question. Daniel Felipe Osorio, teacher, in my edition, how do I do 93? So 91 for us. We did 91 already, buddy. Lenny Felipe, we did 91 already. Sofia Gonzalez, how we do the 94? Sophie Gonzalez, I'll do the 94 if that is the last question, all right? Samuel Mendez, Mister, do we have to send you evidence? Again, Samuel, yes, you will have to send me evidence, just not today, okay? Not at the end of the class. Don't worry, all right? Take these exercises as the classwork that we had during the when we had the class in the school, all right? You showed me the exercises at the end of the class so that I could give you stamps, but I only counted the stamps at the end of the term, right? So yes, you will need to tell me, you will need to send me evidence at the end of the term, all right? Eventually, I'm gonna ask you one day, hey, you guys, go ahead and upload your evidence, take pictures of the notebook or something like that, right? And upload it somewhere. I'm gonna say that eventually, but today you don't have to do so, all right? You don't have to, okay? Maria Jose Fonegra, can we do 94? 2 people asking 94. Yes, of course, we'll do 94 right away. We'll do point 94 right away. And with that, we're going to finish the class, all right? So let me see question 94. Okay. So 5 times x to the negative 2, x to the negative 2 over 6 over y, over 6 times y to the negative 2. All of these elevated to the negative 3rd power. Beautiful. So how do we do this exercise? You guys can see this exponent, sorry. Negative 3. Better. Okay, so how do we do this exercise? Just like we did 93 and 92, all of those. Take the exponent and apply it to everything inside the parentheses. Everything, all right? What I mean by that is, here's the fraction. What you're gonna have is 5 to the negative 3, 5 to the negative 3. Then x to the negative 2, x to the negative 2, to the negative 3. Did you see what I did? Did you see what I did? All right, the negative 3 is being applied to both things on the numerator, but also on the denominator. So 6 to the negative 3 and y to the negative 2, all of that to the negative 3. All right? Now we can do things. Now we can do things. And just like this exercise is so much like the 93, I'm going to do this step real fast, all right? I'm going to combine 2 steps in one. The first one is getting rid of this negative and this negative. By doing that, I'm going to put the 5 down and the 6 on top. So 6 to the 3 and 5 to the 3. Also, these two, this is power of a power. I can multiply the exponents. So x to the positive 6. Also down, y to the positive 6. And just like that, we are done. Now, if you're good with math, if you like to multiply, or in this case, you pretty much have to because we can do this in our mind or in a piece of paper, right? You need to solve 6 to the 3 and 5 to the 3. How do you do 6 to the 3? You multiply. 6 by 6, that is 36, and then 36 by 6. To do that multiplication, 6 by 6, 36, so carry a 3. 6 by 3, 18, plus the 3 is 21. So this will be 216 x to the 6, and down 5 to the 3. We can erase this thing over here. We can erase it. 5 to the 3 will be 5 by 5, which is 25. So 25 times 5. And do these multiplications in a corner in your notebook or in a different piece of paper. Right under this step. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you do it. 5 by 5 is 25. Carry a 2. 5 by 2 is 10. And 2 is 12. So 125 y to the 6. Just like that, we have our solution. Okay, guys. With that, we're gonna finish the class. Okay, it is 1:01, so I need you to please go ahead and have a lunch and get ready for the next class. All right. See you guys. Thank you all for coming. See you around. Bye bye. I'm gonna stop the recording now. Remember, these classes, these videos are being uploaded to YouTube, and you can find them in the resources folder. If you go to videos, you go to the resources folder. Right there is going to be a document called videos, and in that videos are going to be all of these. In case you forgot something, you didn't understood a piece, whatever, you can go there and look at that. All right. Bye bye, guys. See you around.